The Erie Canal, bikes, barges, and beers event.
You want it open?
We're going to trade more often, and you're probably going to see one close to where you're riding to. Okay. I'll tell you. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to go along the trail, and you're going to meet people along the way. I don't see the first one, so I'm going to give you a real fast talk. The first one is Mr. Moorhead. Mr. Moorhead was a runaway slave. The Jarvis family got him to Canastota in the years during the Civil War era. He was from Missouri, and he ended up being a place here. Hopefully he's not there now. That's one of the churches, but I don't see him down there.
I saw a fish that was 2 feet long at one point, and then a muskrat.
It's a little bumpy, but this will be so smooth when we get down here. Let's better keep our snowplows. There's die molding. They might dice there.
I'm especially proud of the trail you're going to be on here. This road goes by the nice short name Donald Hicks Dew Drive. Tough to put on a sign. It's actually part of that trail, and we have a phase 2 coming up here in the next year or so that will actually take the paved portion of this trail and put it on railroads. Albany to Schenectady, Schenectady to Utica, Utica to Syracuse, starting 1826, 1830s. The section from Utica to Syracuse, it was called the Utica and Syracuse Railroad, pretty inventive name, came through here in 1839, and it was on this alignment. So if you look back at this road, it is just dead straight, and you can actually see there's kind of a gap in the trees way out. That's the alignment as it went right into the city of Oneida. Like all the Syracuse and all these towns, the railroads just went where they wanted to go, and all the cities towns wanted the railroad in their town, so they did. So this railroad went straight into Oneida, right through downtown. Was actually involved with the rail trail project to kind of put a trail on some of that alignment in Oneida. It's kind of neat. You actually can, when you're on Court Street, if you kind of continued left or continued straight and gone left, there's actually a whole trail system that goes into downtown Oneida. And it goes across a very historic bridge from the 18th Western path across with no problem. But we put a concrete deck on it. It's a beautiful little trail. So if you ever out back this way, want to continue into Oneida, it's kind of a neat little detour.
Is that the Hubbardsville trail?
Yeah, it's Hubbard Place.
Hubbard
Place
yeah.
Road is right there. And that bridge is right just to the west of it. It's a pretty neat little bridge. Cool. So I always like to imagine when I'm on this trail, and I often jog on this trail. I usually have my dog with me, but not tonight. But we jog together, and I just always imagine this was 4 tracks wide through here. And you think about the number of trains that pass through here every day. Hundreds. Passenger trains. Because up until the 1920s, 30s, 40s, people didn't travel by car. The road system wasn't good enough until 20s and 30s to really get places. You could really only get around town. And then as the 1950s came, the interstates and everything else, people just abandoned trains, and the planes came along, and the trains, well, all the train companies went out of business. They became bankrupt and were taken over the government. That's a whole separate issue. But I like to imagine here, 4 tracks wide, the number of passenger trains going through here, everyone traveled by train. Initially, the canal carried packet boats, but that quickly, right in front of the City Hall, right there was the railroads. And that was elevated in 1936, where the Spectrum building is now. If you've ever been there, look at the top, it's the New York Central Railroad Station. Yeah, right at 690. And if you are on 690, you look over there, they painted a train on the side, and all that. The West Shore came through and was very close. So just past the first sign on the left is the West Shore alignment. All right, so they're pretty close together. The West Shore cuts diagonally. You're not really on the towpath, but when you are on the towpath, I actually walked from Rome to Utica one time on the trail. There's a lot of sections where the canal really isn't a canal; it's just kind of a ditch. Whereas
So there I was, educated.
With a new vigor and passion for life, we rode back to Canastota. Trey thought the skate park was going to be more than what it was. I felt bad for him.
There's a sign, watch for rattlesnakes, on the left.
That's Steve riding with no hands in front of me. He laughed at my joke when we came into Wopsle. I said, Wopsle, where spanking was invented. It was a beautiful day, and everything was okay. This rest area used to be perfect, but it got taken over by graffiti, and that made me feel a little sad. Want me up?
A tank. Double, just amazing for a period of time. What about it? Well, at first garbage. Okay,
Wagon dumps from the bottom. That wrench. Did we have that one? All these wrenches. Little buggy seat. Spring loaded. Beautiful wagon. Oh, careful.
1906. And 23 years later, George Lawrence was born. And George Lawrence was born in Clockville on up 13 across 13 in 1826. Malt vinegar and malt extract. It's a process, and this is really interesting. The grain is soaked in water. He ran that as he had in the area, and then, well, it actually started out, celery was a big business. If you look at your program when you get a chance, on the front page there's a celery plant.
The choo-choo train. Close.
So this man, on his 66th birthday, rode 66 miles around Oneida Lake. I've ridden it twice around, not on my 66th birthday. That's the fire alarm. I thought it was a train.
It's a choo-choo train.
That's the end of the video. Have a good day.